Hi, this is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot. Today is Saturday, February 15th, 2025. And I wanted to take a look at Elon Musk's Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. It sounds like they're going to be going after the IRS this week. So I'm kind of curious as to what we're going to uncover. So I'd like to ask the cards to do a little behind the scenes energy look at what's going on with Doge and the IRS. Should be interesting. I can't wait to hear more about it. I still have my Christmas wrapping paper. It makes a lovely background. I tried to actually wrap Christmas presents with it, but it's so thick that the tape wouldn't work. And so I'm like, oh, I'd make a better tablecloth than wrapping paper. All right, show me the true behind the scenes energy of what's going on this upcoming week between Doge and the IRS. Three, two, one. All right. So, in the past position, there's something new. So I feel like whatever has taken place between Doge and the IRS has actually already taken place. You might have heard a lot of people kind of talking about that, but it just says a new beginning is in the past. So they've already kind of had whatever start to the path that they're going to have. Doge has already started looking into the IRS in the past. So it's not actually happening now or happening real time. I feel like real time, they're already in discussions and collaboration and working together as it is. But this is really interesting. So whatever they've been working on, they have not been talking about it because the Four of Swords, and I apologize, in my past video, I kept calling it Wands, but the Four of Swords and the Two of Swords, this is sort of like a stop, like a hard stop to any communication. And actually, this isn't really a lot of verbal communication because otherwise I might see it as like a Queen of Swords. So this might be just sort of information. They're staying low on information, is kind of what I'm getting for this, and they're just not talking about it. So maybe these two actually kind of reinforce it, but we'll see as we dive into the cards a little bit deeper. In the future position, we have the Four of Wands, which is a bit of a celebratory, like a victory. There's some sort of homecoming that's happening here. I don't know if that's the right word or not yet. But maybe this is like a getting to the finish line. And that's actually more of the energy I get, like sort of like a completion of a project, like, yay, we did it. Um, but then we come to the Seven of Cups, which is some confusion. And then the devil, whenever I'm talking about government agencies, how come the devil always shows up? My God. So yeah, we're going to dive into these cards a little bit more just to kind of set the overall tone of the reading. Let's see the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So there's going to be something that's going to be communicated pretty quickly, but in the current position, it's sort of blocked. So let's actually, pardon me, dive into the Four of Swords and see what is this exactly. Ten of Cups. I don't read reversals. Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands. So what I'm getting out of this is there's some information that they don't want to get out. So that hence the reason why it's the Four of Swords, right? They're just it's sort of like a silent knowing. There, there's someone who's worried about some information getting out. These might even be secrets. These might be strategies. And there's a finale to it, sort of like if this gets out, like it's kind of game over. So let's look at the Two of Swords, Four of Pentacles, the King of Cups. All right, and the Six of Cups. So what they don't want getting out is sort of how they've been distributing money. So is my video feed stuck? Hello? All right. Real-time technical difficulties. How about that? live and in person. It's Saturday night. All right. Anyways, okay, so the information that they don't want out is how they've been holding on or distributing. So the money that they've been collecting, they've been doing something nefarious with it. No duh. Okay, so this card is really interesting in terms of where it's being paid out to. So I'd love to actually do a deeper dive into this card because it looks like they're taking money from the American people. They're doing something kind of, they're converting it and then giving it to someone else. So who are they giving that money out to? The world? Yeah. Three of Wands, the King of Swords. Yeah, you're hearing all about where they're sending your money out to. They're sending your money out to Ukraine. They're sending your money out to other places. USAID has actually also been kind of exposed in terms of where some of the taxpayer monies have been going to. So when the IRS is a tax collection agency, it is not actually a official government entity. If you look at it, it's actually a private corporation, same as the Federal Reserve Bank. The IRS, my understanding of when it was set up, probably after the incorporation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, brought in to be able to collect revenue and tax on the creation of money. So for every dollar that is put into circulation, it you have to pay 10 cents for that dollar. And so the IRS is then the IRS was then set up to be able to collect money from the taxpayer, from the citizens, to be able to pay the creation of the money. And as we're, in this hyperinflationary period where we're creating and putting a lot more money into circulation, it's been really interesting to see, yeah, obviously we're collecting a lot more taxes, and so they have an absolute treasure trove of money that they're taking from the US. And that actually could be what this card is as well. I mean, this could be the collection of the money from the people. Let's actually dive into this card. The Two of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this is I kind of feel like they're misrepresenting themselves in terms of what they're doing with the money. Over here, they're like, yeah, we're moving the money sideways. We're actually sending it out to the world, and we're starting to hear about that a little bit more. And no wonder they want to be silent about it. They're trying to cover up their tracks, and I think it's being exposed. And that's sort of what Doge's intention of doing, right? It's shining a spotlight on, agencies that are acting on the people's behalf. We all paid into our taxes thinking it was going towards roads and schools and what have you. And what they're doing is they're kind of changing the intent in terms of they're taking the money, kind of swapping it around. They're not telling us in terms of exactly how they're doing it. So my feeling is that Doge is exposing this, and we're probably going to see sort of a paper trail in terms of tax money that's being collected and how it's being distributed out. So it's what's funding all these other government agencies that are sending it out to the world. Quite literally, the world card is showing up, and we're going to see where it's actually going. In the future, with the Four of Wands, I think we're going to celebrate the transparency here, and we're going to clear up some confusion. Let's clarify the confusion. High Priestess, the Fool, and the Queen of Pentacles. This is really big energy. So this is sort of, there's some secrets about how money is being moved. And it's kind of hidden and confusing on purpose, right? But I feel like this now becomes the unveiling because of the Fool card. It goes from being a secret and being hidden and being sort of held, this is sort of privileged information, which is now seeing sort of a new day, right? So that privileged information in terms of how money is being spent is going to be, I feel like they're going to kind of clear up that confusion. The Devil, Star card, King of Pentacles, and the Moon. Yeah, there's been a lot of secrets that I feel are going to start to see the light of day about how our money is being distributed. So do I know exactly how? No, I'm not going to get that level of detail from these types of cards, but sometimes I get intuitive hits on things, sometimes I don't. But I think it's safe to say that Doge has been on a transparency mission since they've started a couple weeks back. And every agency they hit one by one, they're going to just start unveiling, peeling back the onion and showing more of how our money has actually really been used. Bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man. So this is sort of a change of perception. Top of the deck, Page of Wands. So yeah, but we're going to have a change of perception in terms of how we view the IRS going forward. We're going to be able to have a bit more transparency of things that have been hidden are now coming to the surface. So I think we're going to expect to see a little bit more of that. Will be interesting to see what specifically shows up. So this is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot, and have a great rest of your night. Thanks.